Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here to follow along and make this cute little strawberry card. Feel free to pause or to replay parts as needed. With the curved line, I make the top of the calyx, that little green cap, and these little pointy corners here are called sepal. I make a little spot where the stem's going to come out, and then just keep making these little zigzags and finishing the top with another curved line and that point on the right side. The strawberry shape is defined by a curved, slightly lumpy, somewhat U-shaped line that goes from the far left point to the far right point. I plan to put 3 flowers on this card, 2 on the wider side and 1 on the narrower side. I start with a circle and then draw 5 petals around it. Each petal starts with a straight line coming out from the circle, then has a gentle curve at the top and comes back to the center. I try to make each petal have about the same width and length as the other petals, but I also try to remember that flowers in real life are not quite perfect and that we don't look directly at the front of the flower. They're always at an angle, so the view doesn't look quite like they're exactly the same size anyway. Strawberry leaves have scallops on the edge, but they're generally a rounded shape. I find it tricky to keep track of the curve while I'm making those scallops on the edge of the leaf, so I am drawing my leaves in where I'd like them to be and making that curve so that I can follow it with my marker. When deciding where to place my leaves, I think about how I want to have leaves behind my flowers because I'm going to leave them white. I do want the flowers to look like they're popping up between the leaves and not growing out of the middle of leaves. The top of the strawberry leaf is almost rounded and it has scallops going all the way down both sides of the leaf. The pointy part of the scallop is facing towards the outer tip of the leaf. Although I don't get it perfect, I sort of zigzag along those pencil marks that I made, which helps me maintain the correct shape for the strawberry leaf. I am practicing accepting imperfect, and I know that the more I practice, the better it will get. Also, my experience with drawing these doodle cards is that once all the lines are on, some of those little discrepancies in my pen lines do tend to blend in. So I am going to do my best and not give up, and I encourage you to do the same. After I finish drawing the leaves that I planned, I just go back and look at my overall picture and make any adjustments or any additions that I think would make my picture look nice. Before I color, I always like to erase the lines that I created. I add a stem on my strawberry in a dark green and then a couple other of these little vines that they send out before coloring my picture. I made the top of my strawberry a dark green, starting by outlining the edges, which makes it a lot easier to color neatly. So I make parallel lines to my drawing first, and then I color in the space. Because I used a permanent marker, I don't have to worry about my black outline bleeding onto the light color that I use in the middle of the flowers. And then I go back to my strawberry and I'm outlining it again right along that edge so that I create a space that's easy to color in. I try to space my seeds evenly throughout the strawberry and make sure that they're not too aligned so they look like they're a little bit random. When coloring the leaves, I like to outline first and then add a rib up the middle so that when I can color in lines that go from the edge to the rib. This provides a more natural look than if my lines were going a different direction than the actual lines on the strawberry leaves. I like to use different colors of green for different leaves so that you can see that they're a separate leaf, and it just adds a little more depth and texture to the picture when it's done. So here is the final strawberry card, imperfections and all, and it turned out really great. And so I'm really glad that I did keep trying even when my lines weren't exactly perfect. I hope you have a lot of fun drawing this picture or just watching. And I did put the colors at the end in case you're using the Beyond Yo pens. Thanks for joining me, and I hope that we can be together again soon.